when I was born, first make it 95% of the working people, employed working people in the world worked with their hands. And 95% did not work in organizations. They worked on the farm, was either as owners or as tenants or as hired hands, but you worked for a master and a mistress, you were hired hand. You didn't work for a corporation. Or they worked for the, I don't know whether you realize that before the 1920s, there were no factory-made shoes in Europe. Bata and Bali both started in the 1920s. Till I went to England, I had never seen a factory-made suit. And in England, the first factory-made suit came up in 1934. So you had tailors and shoemakers, and they had two journeymen, zwei Gesellen und 4 Lehrlinge. And you know the second largest group in the workforce were farmers, people on the farm. The second largest one was Mädchen, domestic servants. Wie heißt das auf Deutsch? Was?
Dienstmädchen.
Not only Mädchen, but hauptsächlich Mädchen. Dienstpersonal. That was second largest labor group. And in this century, by the end of the century, in this country, only about 1 out of every 5 is a man works with his or her hands, and domestic servants are an extinct species. In Vienna too, aren't they? Yes. And at the beginning of the century, factory workers were politically already very important and very visible, but numerically very small. Even in the most highly industrialized country, which was Great Britain, there were not even 1/5 of the labor force, about 15%, what they are now here in this country, 5%. Then they grew to, well, at the peak, almost 50%, 45% in Germany, 38% in this country, 40% in Japan. In this country, they're down to 12%. And this is the great, my next major article, and I'm working on it. And if you weren't here and stole my time, I would make some progress on it. Is on the change in what I call the economists call the terms of trade. In this century, the products of the land have steadily, the production has gone up like this. The prices have gone down like this. Compared to the prices of manufactured goods, the prices of farm products and of metals and so on are less than 1/3 of what they were in 1900. And that's going to happen with manufactured goods in respect the terms of trade against knowledge products in the next 25, 30 years. Those are far greater social shifts than any economist. Economists don't see these things, in part because their model is a static model, an equilibrium model. And these forces of change are outside the model. This is no longer quite true. But still, the economists who are trying to, Schumpeter was the first to try to build a dynamic model, and he never succeeded. But there's a man by the name of Paul Romer in Stanford who's trying to build one. There are some in Europe, in St. Gallen, but we don't have it yet. And so the economists don't see that. The economists basically see stills.